Good morning, San Sebastian. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm going to start with my presentation. Now, since humans have been living in cities, we've always designed tools in order to design our cities in collaboration. When we're trying to design these cities, what we do is generally we create wonderful 3D models that they're great, but they don't have any data in them. And then we show them to the general public, and we generally listen to the person who shouts loudest. In the City Science Group, what we do is that we have designed Cityscope, which is an open source platform where we use data and scientific evidence to help human beings to make decisions in a much more community-based and collaborative way. One example is this, what we can see here, the Volp Center, which is a design of a vibrant community. We have projected all of our different simulations and simulation models onto that. And then we've used some different colored tags, some sort of QR codes made from Lego to understand what sort of people live in Volpi, what they do, how they act, how they live, and then we just play around with it, like we're playing with Lego. We play around with all of these to see what would happen if we created a park in Volpe, for example, or if we had more things for young people or more activities for young people. And then how do we measure this? Well, we've created a series of indicators, here you can see, in the form of a radar, which help us to understand the different economic and environmental behaviors. And then, this is quite complicated, we've also created a series of heat maps, where red is bad, green is good. Even I can understand it, so it's got to be pretty easy. And then we get citizens, governments, all the different stakeholders around the table, and everyone can say what they think their community needs. But how do we actually use Cityscope in terms of mobility? Well, we measure how people move from point A to point B. This is a matrix that we have carried out based in Andorra. In blue, we can see the French people, orange are the Spanish people, and other people from other nationalities are in white. We also add data that have to do with social media, etc. So we can understand how people move, but not just how, why as well, why people move. And this helps us to create simulation models and predictive models so that we can see what would happen if we changed mobility, or if we changed shops, or what the impact of tourism is, etc. So when the pandemic arrived, we were actually ready to work in Andorra because we had all the mobility data. And we also had the fact that in Andorra, the government of Andorra tested 95% of the population for COVID. So we knew what was going on. It was a very good test bed for us there. And we then developed different models to see what would happen if we brought autonomous vehicles or driverless vehicles to the city of Boston. We looked at different levels, city level, district level, and street level, to see what would happen if we actually brought the BRT, the Bus Rapid Transit, to the city of Boston. And society has supported this project as a result of the way in which it was presented to them and the fact that they had a voice in it. It's important to take into account how different transport and different transport systems impact communities and impact citizens. Also in San Francisco, we have analyzed what happens if or how the location of different messenger services and warehouses for packets have an impact on society. And in Barcelona, for example, we have studied what will happen if we change different facilities to attract younger people to different areas. And also in the Champs-Élysées in Paris, we have rethought mobility there as well. And just to finish, with the pandemic, we have actually developed a digital twin of Cityscope, which is now available online. Now, we know that collecting data is very difficult. It's not an easy task. So this Cityscope is based on open source data. They have static data, which is available, which enables us to actually develop different mobility models in almost any city in the United States. So, of course, the question is, how can we use Cityscope in the future to reimagine the mobility of the future altogether? Thank you very much indeed.